In international news, it's an unprecedented diplomatic step forward. US President Barack Obama arrived in Cuba as the two neighbors moved to bury the hatchet and normalize the strained ties between the two countries. Cuban President Raul Castro hosted his US counterpart at the Revolutionary Palace as the two leaders held bilateral talks.
A historic moment in US-Cuba ties as the Air Force One landed in Havana for President Obama's Cuba visit. A first such gesture by a sitting US president in 90 years. On their arrival, President Obama and his family took a tour of Old Havana. The stage was then set for the historic handshake between President Obama and President Raul Castro as the Cuban leader hosted the American president at the Revolutionary Palace. The Cubama handshake in Havana marks a new chapter in the thorny US-Cuban ties. The two presidents then held bilateral talks at the Revolutionary Palace as they acknowledged the serious differences in governance policies of the two countries and had a face-off over the issues of human rights and democracy.
As we do wherever we go around the world, I made it clear that the United States will continue to speak up on behalf of democracy, including the right of the Cuban people to decide their own future. We'll speak out on behalf of universal human rights, including freedom of speech and assembly and religion. We will continue to stand up for basic principles that we believe in.
¿Lo sabe usted? Yo sí. Ninguno. Unos cumplen unos, otros cumplen otros. Y entre eso estamos nosotros. De esos mencionados 61 son. Cuba cumple 47.
Cuban President Raul Castro urged the US President to lift sanctions on the country, while President Obama also stressed on the need to normalize the relationship between the two countries.
Mucho más pudiera hacerse si se levantara el bloqueo de los Estados Unidos. El bloqueo es el obstáculo más importante para nuestro desarrollo económico y el bienestar del pueblo cubano. Por eso, su eliminación será esencial para normalizar las relaciones bilaterales.
Our growing engagement with Cuba is guided by one overarching goal: advancing the mutual interests of our two countries, including improving the lives of our people, both Cubans and Americans. That's why I'm here. I've said consistently, after more than 5 very difficult decades, the relationship between our governments will not be transformed overnight. And President Castro and I have had very frank and candid conversations on these subjects.
Speaking at a business event later, President Obama said that the only way to help the people of Cuba is to end the US embargo.
I will keep saying it every chance I get. One of the best ways to help the Cuban people succeed and improve their lives would be for the US Congress to lift the embargo once and for all.
Even as President Obama's Cuba visit is being seen as a step forward in diplomacy, back home, the visit seems to be evoking mixed reactions, with Republican frontrunner Donald Trump criticizing Obama's Cuban policy.
I'm okay with the Cuba situation, but I want to tell you they should be making a good deal. For instance, I hear Cuba wants to sue us for hundreds of billions of dollars for all the harm we've caused them. That's okay. They're going to sue us for Guantanamo, which, by the way, they want back very badly. They want it back. I want to keep it open, and I'm going to put more in there of the bad ones.
As Cuba and US take their first step to normalize their ties, all eyes will be on how the two countries, on two ends of the political spectrum, reach a middle ground for mutual cooperation. Bureau Report, Times Now.